Hello and welcome to this lecture. In the previous video, you learned how to experiment with the multifractal node and get some good results. You learned that when using procedural generation, we can create happy accidents. In this video, we will create a new mountain using the mountain node and merge it with the terrain we already have. Let's add the mountain node. Just right click and start typing. Also, remember you might have a node pinned now. Look for the crosshair symbol here. Right click and pin. Now it's unpinned. Or use the hotkey, which is F. So back to our mountain node. Let's add the erosion node right away. Just drag from the output and start typing. You can organize these a little bit better. So as you can see now, these are not connected. We haven't connected our two top nodes with our two bottom nodes. This is something we will do later using a combine node. But first let's focus on just the mountain. I add the erosion node just to get a better result. Easier to see what we're working with that way. So now I pin the erosion node. Now let's find some good settings for our hero mountain. Select the mountain node. Always adjust your camera to get a good angle. And don't be afraid to adjust the lighting either. You can adjust the sun here. Get some more dramatic lighting, so that helps with observing how the shadows will be and if the mountain has a good silhouette. So the scale setting will work fine here. I think about maybe a little bit lower. And we can use this edge setting to remove some of the edge by increasing it. Increasing the number. Making the edge larger. Because we already have a terrain, we just want a mountain to merge with our terrain. So removing some edge makes sense. Let's apply bulky, making the mountain a lot more bulkier. Height 100% will work fine. The type has several algorithms, 4 different ones for creating the shape. These aren't described in the documentation, so it's impossible to know which algorithm they use, but they are slightly different. You can have a look. Let's also change the seed here. As soon as you find a shape you like, a mountain that has like a distinct look will work well for the hero mountain. Remember, it should be sort of a focus point of your landscape and look good in the background. But also up close, if the player ever chooses to walk up close to it. So whatever shape you go with, it's completely up to you. I'm going to try a seed I have here written down. Like I said before, always write down seeds you like. And this time I'm also going to use the post-process stack, which is at the bottom of the properties panel here. Select blur. Using blur we can take away some sharp edges, because sharp edges don't translate well to Unreal Engine. So increase the blur. Not too much, because we don't want to lose all our detail. Just a little bit. Not too happy about the seed I chose now, so I'm trying a few different shapes. Okay, so I like this shape and we'll go with it. I think it's fine. Also remember, when I look at shapes like this, I'm envisioning how it will merge with our current landscape, and I'm also thinking about how I might possibly change it just slightly inside Unreal Engine, which is something we will see when we get to that part. Okay, so now the question is, how do we merge this mountain with the rest of our landscape? And we have to think about where to place it. Well, the answer is the first node we need is a transform node. Remove the pin now. The transform node is used to position and scale any feature, any node. So we see we have a scale setting here, and also rotation and position X and Y. We need a combine node. And we connect the output of our previous landscape to input 1 and the output of transform to input 2. Now make sure to remove the pin here, or pin combine. You can see our mountain appeared here. This isn't exactly what we want, so we have to change the blending method here, the combine method. It's at blend, but we actually want max. Set the ratio to 100%. Now we can barely see our mountain sticking up here. And this is because the rest of the landscape is too high. We can see these marks down here in the corners, the white ones. This means our landscape is elevated, it's raised above here. So go back to the multifractal node, and down here in the process stack we have a setting called drop to floor. Make sure to click this arrow to expand the settings. Select drop to floor. Now we can see it's a lot more closer down to these marks. And of course our mountain is fully visible now. And we can start using the transform node to position it where we want and also scale it up or down. And just make small increments. I think this could be a good placement, maybe a bit further to the left here. See if that's the X position. That's actually Y. See, move the Y up slightly. Almost looks like a cove entrance here with these arms. And now I can envision the player moving from around here over here somewhere here and looking up at this mountain. You can change a few different scales. Slightly bigger. And then move it a little bit back. Okay, maybe adjust the sunlight. And in order to blend our hero mountain better with the landscape, we will use another erosion node, because the erosion node will melt these together. Now pin this node. And we can see right away we get a much better blend here. Going to do an incremental save and then change the resolution to 2K. It takes a lot longer to render, but we get to see all the details. I think the erosion is a bit too heavy here, so I will change it. Remember to click Apply Changes or select the padlock, which is Auto Apply. Then the settings will apply whenever you change them. And go back to 1K because it takes too long at 2K. Reduce the strength a little bit. There are of course also seeds for erosion, but it will always be realistic. It will always be based on a simulation. Okay, this is fine for now. Let's clean up our nodes a little bit, our graph. One thing to note here is you might look at our landscape now and think it's not too big, that it might actually look a little bit small, but the thing is, it's really difficult to judge the scale when you have nothing to compare to. Once we add especially trees and forests, it will be a lot easier to perceive the scale, and this landscape will look much bigger than it seems now. So that's it for this lecture, and in the next one we will add rivers, a lake, forests, and even snowfall.